this is part 12 of our 100% walkthrough for Oracle of Ages. In this part, we're going to continue getting our items back, and that includes the Seed Satchel, the Rock's Feather, the Harp of Ages. We're going to actually get the Tasty Meat from a chef. We're going to get the Power Bracelet, and then finally, we're going to enter the third dungeon of the game, the Moonlit Grotto.
And unlike the end of last part, we're going to try to come up with something to say in the last 40 seconds of this part. But
I'm not going to come up with something to say in the first 8 minutes of this part.
Because like kind of behind the scenes, what we do for these parts is we kind of like watch them beforehand and like kind of take notes on some things that we want to talk about throughout the video. Sometimes we talk about it. Sometimes we don't, and I think each of us had like two notes.
Oh, we got nothing
for this whole part. We're like, well, this is kind of going to stink. So
this is going to be rough. But I will say one of our things, though, I love they bring back like the underground, underwater side-scrolling
Agreed. I love that too.
Just such a nice memory of like the side-scrolling Mario levels.
Yeah,
where
and also
underwater.
Link's Awakening. We kind of got that Link's Awakening, didn't we? Then
that's probably about it.
Yeah, I was trying to think if we got another game. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure it's Link's Awakening and the Oracle of Ages. It's the only places we get those things.
I mean, I guess you could say all of Zelda 2 is a side-scrolling.
Well, yeah, that's kind of... Well, there's no water, though. Well, there is water, but there's no, like, side water scenes in Zelda 2. Could have made it a lot better, though. Although, I claim to this day, I don't think Zelda 2 is that bad of a game. It's just very, very difficult.
Yeah,
so.
And different from every other Zelda game.
Yeah, now we'll talk about the vines and how it's cool that they grow over time, but we talked about that
we already did.
in the last part, which is one of my notes for this part, so go ahead and throw that one out.
Well, I just think it's so frustrating.
Trade hut, again.
Yeah. Well, it's just this whole area, Crescent Island, is not very big.
No, it's not.
So we're really just going in the same circle over and over and over. Just maybe a little different underground areas or caves is the only thing that really mixes it up a little bit. But finally, we were able to buy back the Rock's Feather.
Which does help it, yeah.
Because now we've got the bracelet and the feather. We're not stuck trading them in. So that helps it a little bit.
You know how I know when a part's bad? Like when I hate like recording it. Or when I hate preparing for recording. Like I can tell a lot of times like just how difficult something is. Like, okay, I got to remember all this crap to do in this recording.
Yep.
And like, so that, but at the same time, like Crescent Island was a lot more enjoyable experience like this time around.
Yeah.
But then it also reminded me of how much I hated it the first time when the recording was that difficult to do, when I actually knew what I was doing.
I knew how I know if part's gonna stink so bad is when I like just dread even doing the commentary for it. So, when I was prepping for this, like you said, I just looked at it. I'm like, this.
Do we have to do this part? Can we just put this in the commentary like playlist without anything in it?
I think that'd have been perfectly
Listen to
acceptable.
the audio. The audio's pretty good in this part, so whatever.
Well, the music, I will say, on Crescent Island is
we've not talked
catchy.
about that. Yes, I actually do like the music. So
in some of these 2D games, they like don't have a lot of music changes outside the dungeons. And I like how, like, starting with Link's Awakening, you got a little bit of the different songs for different areas.
Yeah.
And if I guess you could go all the way back to Link to the Past that started it, but it's just the island music was kind of catchy.
Well, the thing is, I think this is an 8-bit game, and I'm not always sure on like what the Game Boy Color was at that time, but like the music could not be that complex.
Exactly.
And so we get a good theme, and it can't be that complex because of technology.
Yeah.
It's just kind of fun to hear.
It is.
So, like I said, like the music on Crescent Island.
Yep.
Probably one of the few things that I do like.
Now, getting the Harp of Ages back was actually kind of a big thing because some of those like saplings or whatever that we've pushed around, we'll be able to actually go into the other time and see where they've grown. Plus, the scent seedling that we planted, we'll actually be able to get to see how it grew up as well. So it's like the Harp of Ages actually finally lets us do a couple different things that we haven't done on Crescent Island.
One thing I actually like about getting it that late is it didn't make us go between the past and the present that much. Like, if we got that like very early on in Crescent Island, I could see myself like trying to go back and forth between the lands, like trying to figure something out and like just overthinking it.
Exactly.
I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I agree
overthinking
100%.
it. So I kind of like getting the Oracle or the Harp of Ages that late because it didn't make us overthink what was going on.
I will give Crescent Island a little bit of credit. The way it looks.
You stop right there, right?
I know.
You stop right there.
The way it looks when we get back to the current time, it's so much brighter. Like the beach and the trees and the water.
Well, the whole game's like that though.
It really is.
Now we kind of talked about one of the first parts, like how the past is more dual, which makes sense because it's a longer time ago. So kind of, that we see that theme throughout the entire game.
Plus, it just helps you remember what part, what time you're in when you see the duller colors.
That is true. Although I forget all the time. Actually, what part I'm in. I'm like, what lane is this? Past, present.
Yeah.
So
now, I thought this was kind of a neat little thing. Like the chef, his nose was stopped up, so he gave him the stinky bag. Which I like.
I jump around like that. Like, yeah, when my daughter craps her pants, I jump around like that sometimes.
But it was cool though that we used that, and we got as a reward, we got the tasty meat, which I do not remember what in the world we used.
It was just a cool little trade sequence. We traded to somebody for something, for another item. But I just kind of think, it's a cool visual seeing him jump around like that. Yeah, it's honestly a visual you don't get very often in a 2D game. So
you really don't. It's just the whole thing where it's like just the stink cleaned up his sinuses, or cleared up his nose. It's just kind of a neat.
I mean, like hot stuff will do that, but like something that I can tell you right now. My daughter craps her pants. It never clears my nostrils. So
nope, quite the
I don't know
opposite,
how it works in Tokay or Crescent Island land, but
I'm glad I don't have a kid.
Well, Tokay, it's a different kind of species, so maybe crap does that for them because their nostrils. If you look at their head, their nostrils are tiny compared to their head.
Yeah,
they really looks like I was gonna say Patrick Ewing, but actually Patrick Ewing is the opposite of what that is right there. So
oh my gosh.
I don't have anything else to talk about, so I had to bring up Patrick Ewing.
I kind of like how they're on that a couple screens ago. We actually got to see the next dungeon we're going to go to. Like, we got a little glimpse of the Moonlit Grotto. It's still going to be a few minutes before we get there. Yeah, because we still have to get... do we have to get any more items?
Crap, what we do?
We still have to
this might be the two worst parts, so we're just sitting here we have no idea what to do, so we're just going to look down our notes and figure out what we do next, and we can't... We have flippers.
Nothing. We've got the flippers, wrong part.
Oh, we already...
Power Bracelet. Or did we already get that back? I don't even know.
No, we buy the flippers. Or, I don't know.
We buy the Power Bracelet, I think.
Well, I have flippers written down here, so I don't know what in the world I have it written down here for, but... Apparently, I thought something happened at the end of this video where we got the flippers.
I think that was the end of part 11. I think we're on 12 now, bud.
No, I'm looking at... Oh, yeah.
When our notes backfire on us.
I was looking at part 11.
What we had to do...
I'm just going to go ahead and set the rest of this commentary here.
Oh, God. Well, it's going to be pretty quiet. The Power Bracelet was the item we still had to buy back. We finally got the scent seeds from that scent tree, so we could afford to buy the Power Bracelet.
I'm sorry, dude. I got so thrown off right there. Because I was like, flippers? I could have swore we already had the flippers. And, I was looking at part 11 notes. So,
hey,
no wonder I was confused.
That does happen sometimes. But
that's a good little moment right there in commentary.
All you can do is laugh. I was looking over at you. I'm like, I think he's reading the wrong page. But we finally got that nice notification telling us we got all our items back. So now that we've advanced the plot, none at all whatsoever for the last 16 minutes.
And that's why I hate it. Like, I just hate wasting time.
And that's all this part is.
I think as you get older, and you become adult, time just goes faster and faster for no reason whatsoever. And so when I'm playing a game like this, I like to be rewarded. You know what? I like to be rewarded for anything I do in life.
Exactly.
So, when I'm doing something like this, I'm basically just starting, not starting over, but I basically...
Kind of.
I was at this point, I took this time, and I'm back to exactly where I was.
Yep.
I'm not about it.
And it just sucks because now we're just going to go straight to the grotto now that the next dungeon, now that we have our items. It's such a pointless side quest that all it does is
like sex. I'm not doing the same position I was 2 years ago.
Exactly.
You got to advance the game a little bit.
You got to mix things up a little, But it's just frustrating to do this whole sequence knowing it literally didn't affect the story. Like you said, I'm not even sure we talked to the Tokays.
Yeah, but they say... that's the thing, because I don't believe we meet them anywhere else in the game. I think they're only on Crescent Island. Maybe if we would have got some backstory with the Tokay, kind of about what they're bound, I don't know, just some kind of story. Maybe would have added more than just hearing the same thing from them over and over again.
Just so annoying. But at least
Screw Crescent Island.
We're finally making our way to the Moonlit Grotto, and this will wrap up part 12.
It is part 12
of Oracle of Ages 100%.